Hey guys, today we're diving into the ultimate guide on how to scrape any website 100% automated. Whether you're looking to boost your productivity, streamline your workflows, or master the art of automated web scraping, this video will cover it all. We'll be breaking down every step so you know exactly how to implement this and get results right away. Are you ready? Let's get started. So first of all, thanks for coming back and a big welcome to all of the new subscribers joining us today. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Jake Dawson, and I'm here to bring you the latest in AI sales and automation workflow hacks in a way that's easy to understand and apply. And as always, remember that everything we cover here is to help you succeed. These are not just theories, but actionable strategies that you can use right now. Now, if you're new here or looking for more ways to level up, don't forget to check out the school community linked below. Inside, you'll find exclusive Make.com templates, including the exact one we're using today, that you can import directly and start using immediately. We've built a whole space for learners and doers just like you, where you can ask questions, get direct help, and connect with like-minded folks who are ready to take action. And of course, you can always subscribe and hit that bell button to get notified of our bi-weekly videos, live sessions, and more. Let's jump right in. Before we dive into the workflow, there are a couple of important steps you need to take before jumping into Make.com. First, open Google Drive and create a new spreadsheet by clicking the Create button and then selecting Google Sheets. This sheet is going to be the backbone of the whole operation, so give it a super cool name like Websites. Once your spreadsheet is ready, set up the first column to store the URLs of the websites you're planning to scrape. Let's call this first column Link because, well, that's what it is. This column is key because it will hold the links you'll be working with later on in the automation workflow. Go ahead and paste the list of websites you want to scrape under this column to get the sheet started. You'll thank yourself later when everything is neatly organized. Now, while you're in spreadsheet mode, think about the kind of data you actually want to scrape from these sites. Go ahead and add columns for the specific info you're after. Things like product name, description, price, phone number, Facebook link, or anything else you'd like to scrape from these websites. These extra columns will be where the scrape data magically appears after the automation does its thing. Setting it up this way keeps everything organized and makes your life a lot easier when it's time to review the data. It's like setting the table before a feast. It makes everything go smoothly. Once your URLs are listed and your data columns are ready, you're all set to dive into Make.com and start building the automation workflow. Now that your Google Sheet is looking sharp, head over to Make.com and create a new scenario to kick off the automation. The first step in this whole process is to add the Google Sheets module and set the action to Search Rows. This module lets you pull specific data from the Google Sheet you just created, specifically from that website sheet with all the juicy URLs that you want to scrape. After selecting the Google Sheets module, you need to pick the correct spreadsheet that holds your data. In this case, it's your website sheet, so make sure you don't pick the wrong one and end up scraping your grocery list or something, unless you really need to automate that. Once you've got the right sheet, you'll set the search criteria. Since the goal here is to scrape certain URLs, you'll want to focus on the link column. After you've successfully grabbed the correct rows with the URLs, it's time for the next step, adding the HTTP module and setting the action to make a request. This is where the real magic of web scraping happens. In this step, you'll get each URL in your spreadsheet. So paste the URLs you got from the Search Rows module into the URL field of the HTTP module. It means you're telling the system which URLs to target. Once that's set up, you'll choose the HTTP method, which in this case is GET. The GET method is like saying, hey website, give me your data. It's designed to pull information from the URLs, specifically the HTML, that behind-the-scenes code from the web pages. After everything's mapped and set, go ahead and run the module to send the request to each URL. Once it's done, check the status code. A status code of 200 means everything went well. It's like a thumbs up from the internet. If you see that, you're ready to move on. Skipping this step would be like not checking your gas tank before going on a road trip. You might find yourself stranded later if something didn't go right. Now that you have all that HTML content from the URLs, it's time to clean it up. Add the text parser module. The thing about HTML is that it's full of all these tags and gobbledygook that make it messy to work with. The text parser module strips out all that unnecessary stuff and leaves you with clean, readable text. It's like taking a messy burger and pulling out all the toothpicks and napkins. Now you can actually enjoy it. To set this up, put the HTML output from the HTTP module into the text parser module. Once you've run it, the module will turn the HTML into plain text. Now you got the clean data and you're ready to move on to the next step, using OpenAI to pull out the details you care about. Now for the fun part. Add an OpenAI module and set the action to create a completion. OpenAI is basically a super smart tool that looks at the text and figures out what you want from it. Think of it as a digital Sherlock Holmes. You'll set up OpenAI by defining the roles as system and writing a clear prompt to tell OpenAI what to look for in the text. Whether you're after product details, company info, or contact details, be as specific as possible. The more clear you are, the better the results will be. For example, we'll use a format called JSON to keep everything organized, like putting all your groceries in separate bags so nothing gets squished. You can ask OpenAI to find things like product names, descriptions, prices, or even contact info like emails or social media links. Basically, all the juicy stuff you're after. And hey, if writing prompts isn't your thing, don't sweat it. I've got you covered. You can grab the exact prompt I use by checking out the community linked in the description below. Trust me, it'll save you the headache and get you scraping like a pro in no time. JSON keeps everything nice and tidy, making the next step super easy. Once OpenAI does its thing, you'll want to run it once to make sure the info it gives you is accurate. If it looks good, move on and add the Parse JSON module. This step breaks the data down into easy-to-use chunks, whether it's product details, emails, or whatever else you need. Map the output from OpenAI by going to Choices, Message, Content, and put it into the Parse JSON module to run it. Now everything is neatly organized and you're ready for the next step in the workflow. With your data all cleaned up and organized, it's time to update your Google Sheet with the new info. Add another Google Sheets module, but this time choose the Update Row action. This module will update the correct rows in your website sheet with all that new data. Just like before, you'll map the row number for the Search Rows module to make sure you're updating the right row. Then, map the data fields like product name, description, email, or social media into the correct columns. After everything is set up, run the module to update your sheet with the newly scraped data. The result will be a neatly organized sheet, all filled out with the information you scraped from the websites. It's like seeing a blank puzzle finally come together. At this point, you're almost done. The last step is to take a good look at your Google Sheet and make sure everything is filled in correctly. Just like proofreading a paper before submitting it, double check to make sure nothing went wrong along the way. If it all looks good, you can now set the workflow to run automatically. You can schedule it to run daily, weekly, or whenever you need it. That way your data stays fresh without you lifting a finger. This automation is a time saver and ensures everything stays up to date without you having to check it all the time. Now, let's take a moment to talk about why the setup is so powerful. Make.com is an incredibly versatile platform that serves as the ultimate connector for all your apps and services. The drag and drop interface makes it easy to create complex workflows, even if you don't have any coding experience. This accessibility is a game changer for businesses and individuals who want to automate their operations without the need for a development team. You can streamline processes, reduce manual effort, and free up time to focus on higher priority tasks, all while knowing that your automated workflows are handling the repetitive work for you. OpenAI adds another layer of sophistication to the setup by providing advanced AI capabilities that allow you to extract meaningful insights from the data you scrape. It's one thing to scrape data, but it's another to process that data in a way that provides actionable insights. With OpenAI, you can take raw text and turn it into structured, useful information that you can immediately act on. Whether it's for lead generation, market analysis, or other purposes, the combination of Make.com and OpenAI creates a powerful end-to-end solution for automating data collection and analysis. Of course, like any system, there are pros and cons. On the plus side, this workflow is incredibly cost-effective. By automating the process, you significantly reduce the costs associated with manual labor. whether that's hiring someone to gather data or using expensive third-party lead lists. You also save a ton of time. No more manually scouring websites for information or waiting for virtual assistants to do it for you. Another major advantage is that you get fresher, more relevant data, which gives you a competitive edge. Instead of using stale data from outdated lists, you're generating your own, tailored to your specific needs. That said, there are some challenges to be aware of. The initial setup can take some time, especially if you're new to Make.com. While the platform is user-friendly, there is a bit of a learning curve. It might take a little time to get familiar with the interface and all the different modules, but once you're up and running, the benefits far outweigh the effort. Another potential downside is overuse. If you're scraping a lot of data in a short period of time, you could hit API limits, which temporarily restrict your access. The key here is to pace yourself and ensure you're using the system efficiently. Now, once you've got this automation up and running, you'll probably wonder, what else can I do with this? Well, buckle up, because here are some pro tips and tricks to take this automation even further. Set it and forget it by scheduling your automation to run on a regular basis, like daily or weekly. This way, your data stays up to date without you having to lift a finger. New products on websites? New contact info? No problem. Your Google Sheet will always have the latest info, making you look like a productivity whiz. Get specific with your prompts if you want even more tailored data by being creative with your OpenAI prompts. For example, instead of just scraping product names and prices, ask for reviews, ratings, or even the availability of items. If you're scraping for competitors' websites, you can even ask OpenAI to summarize key marketing strategies or trends that it spots. Automated alerts are also a great feature to use. Set up Google Sheets or Make.com to send you email alerts or notifications when new data is scraped. For instance, if a new product hits a competitor's site or if contact info changes, you'll get notified right away. You'll be the first to know when something shifts, giving you a competitive edge. You can also clean your data automatically by adding a step in your workflow to clean up the data. Use Make.com's filtering features to remove duplicates or to only keep records that meet specific criteria, like only scraping items over a certain price point. This keeps your data fresh and relevant without extra work on your part. Bulk scraping multiple websites is another way to take advantage of this setup. Got a big list of websites? No problem. Just load them into the Google Sheet and let the automation do the heavy lifting. You can expand your reach to scrape hundreds of sites without breaking a sweat. Once you've mastered this workflow, you can even turn it into a service. Plenty of businesses would pay for regularly updated data on competitors, products, or market trends. You've already got the tech. Just market it as a lead generation or competitive intelligence tool, and boom, you've got yourself a side hustle. You can even combine this automation with other APIs. After scraping product data, for instance, you could use an email marketing API to send automated outreach or product alerts. Or combine it with analytics tools to track trends and see how scrape data compares over time. By leveraging these tips and tricks, you're not just automating data scraping, you're building an unstoppable system that can keep feeding you fresh, valuable insights, helping you stay ahead of the game while doing less work. So there you have it. We've just walked through the entire process of setting up an automated web scraping system using Make.com, Google Sheets, and OpenAI. With this setup, you're not only saving time and money, but you're also creating a system that works for you around the clock. Imagine having a workflow that continuously scrapes and processes data, giving you a constant stream of fresh leads or insights. This is a game changer for any business looking to scale its operations and maximize efficiency. Now it's your turn to put this into action. Take the steps we've discussed here today and start building your own automated workflow. The possibilities are endless. And once you see the results, you'll wonder how you ever managed without it. If you found this deep dive helpful, make sure to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications so you don't miss out on any of our upcoming videos. And if you want access to more advanced templates and support, check out our school community linked below. It's packed with resources, direct help, and a network of like-minded people ready to take action. Thanks for tuning in, guys. I'm here to help you make your workflows smarter, faster, and more profitable. Keep automating and stay ahead of the competition. See you in the next one.